introduce, we're so lucky that we met Linda Tannenbaum, who is the director of the Open Medicine Foundation, and joining forces with her has been amazing to help with fundraising. And what we're doing here isn't just going to help us in Whitney, it's going to help millions of chronic fatigue syndrome patients in an amazing pioneering effort. So you really can think of yourselves as pioneers helping solve this disease. And so I'd like you to introduce you to Linda Tannenbaum. My friend, Linda Tannenbaum.
Thank you very much. It is so exciting to see so many people that came out today with love for the Davis and Dafo family, and it really means a lot to us as well, because with my husband and I, we have a daughter who also has this illness, and as parents together, and there's some other parents here in the audience, we have to make this and find a cure, and we have to do it ourselves. So we're here, and we want to tell you about what our plan is. So first of all, thank you, Ron and Janet, for opening your lovely home and for sharing your story today. It's a heartfelt story that too many people live. And thank you all for listening to us today. I started the Open Medicine Foundation, which we call OMF, to find a cure for this illness, ME/CFS, and for people like Whitney and my daughter and millions around the world that live with this incapacitating disease. And this past year, Ron Davis and I joined forces and basically decided that we need to do something ourselves to step this up. And Ron said, well, I can do the research, but I don't know how to fundraise. And I said, if you do the research, I'll make sure we can fund it. So we joined forces together, and this past year, Ron brought together a unbelievable, remarkable scientific advisory board to put heads together to lead this great effort. And this great effort is called the End Mecfs Project. So we got a name to it, and this is why. Wonderful bracelets here. One of our posters here has the list of our scientific advisory board, and we are grateful and proud to say that we've included, that Ron has invited into this leadership 3 Nobel laureates and 6 members of the National Academy of Sciences and other top leaders in research in multiple fields to pull and lead this great effort and to bring on other scientists that can bring their expertise to the fold and be led to find a cure for this illness. And we're grateful tonight because we have a few of our members of our Scientific Advisory Board members here, and I'd like to, if you could, stand and be acknowledged because we are grateful beyond belief that you are helping us with this. Dr. Mark Davis, Dr. Renzo Mazara, Nobel laureate Paul Berg, Dr. Paul Berg, and of course, our director, Dr. Ron Davis. Thanks. We also have 2 of our foundation board members here today, and we're a foundation. Open Medicine Foundation's a foundation, and we can't do it without a board. And I'd like to also have our board members stand. Dr. Deborah Rose here. Deborah Rose has underwritten the reception for us today and has also helped us with support in other research entities for our foundation. Thank you very much, Deborah.
And I also have the disease.
And Deborah also has the disease and understands this from the basics. And Kimberly Hicks, standing over there. Kimberly Hicks, thank you so much. She just flew in from New York, and she has been instrumental. She's OMF's treasurer and has been instrumental in setting us up with governance and policy adherence and everything that we need to do for our operating procedures, and we really couldn't do it without you. So thank you very much, Kimberly. Thank you. And I also need to thank my husband, Don Tannenbaum, who's over here. And the 2 of us have really started this in about 2010 and trying to look for a cure for this illness. And this is the first time that we really feel like we're on the right track. And we've been so grateful to meet Ron Davis and Janet Dafo and to get this going together. And we're very grateful to be doing this together. So thank you. So let me share with you an overview of ME/CFS, the disease that has literally left Whitney Dafo upstairs in his bedroom for several years now. and has left many incapacitated, really beyond belief. ME/CFS, or the long name, which is myalgic encephalomyelitis, is also called commonly chronic fatigue syndrome. And it's really not known very well. People don't really know how sick people are with this. But it is really real, and it's widespread, and it's ridiculously underfunded and under-researched. And because it impacts over 2 million people just in the United States, and probably over 20 million people in the world, and really 90% or so don't even have a diagnosis. So you can imagine how many people have this. You probably know somebody who has this, even if they haven't told you that yet. And the more people that we meet, the more people that say, oh, wait a minute, I have an uncle who's been in bed for years. Maybe that's what he has. So it is really not diagnosed. We need to find a way to diagnose it. But it's really widespread. And we need to do something for millions of people, not just our kids. The symptoms include, among many others, we have one of our posters in the back that has a big 60 on it, and it's 60 symptoms that have been logged in for this illness, but I'll just talk about the main hallmark symptoms that people have with this illness. Fatigue like you've had the worst flu ever and it doesn't go away. Symptoms worsen after physical and mental and emotional exertion. Even brushing your teeth or even worrying about a test tomorrow could put you in a crash for days and weeks. And I see some people shaking their heads in the audience, and we've seen it. My daughter had it, and we've seen it. They could even, it's unbelievable, just worrying about something could put you in bed. Unrefreshing sleep is a hallmark, and that could mean that you've slept and you wake up and you feel like you haven't slept, or you haven't slept at all. Brain fog. Some people can't even think, can't talk, and can't communicate at all. Passing out and getting dizzy whenever you're standing or sitting, and a lot of patients I've met have to stay in a horizontal position, and if they sit up at all, they pass out. Our daughter, we used to time it 45 minutes, and we sit there timing it just to make sure that we were doing something while we were waiting for her to wake up, hoping that she would wake up, and all she did was get up and sit. We have to find a cure. This is a horrific illness. Ron will tell you the details of the End Mecfs science plan, and we're very excited to tell you about that today. But as an overview, let me tell you how the Open Medicine Foundation is working for a cure. As Open Medicine Foundation, we're the ones that need to raise the money, and we're the ones that have a neutral forum and a framework to be able to bring researchers from multiple institutions and from multiple disciplines to bring them together in a collaborative, open environment. We have a lot less overhead than universities and institutions. As a foundation, we can use the money for research, which is what we need to do. We can engage the patient community all over the world, because as a foundation, we have thousands of touch points to patients all over the world. They've signed up, they get our newsletter, and anything that we need, if we need to find patients for clinical trials, if we need to find people in different countries, we have touch point to many, many patients, and most research doesn't have that touch point, and we have that already. We'll be able to collect and analyze data, accelerate research at the top institutions that are already doing research. So we're not reinventing the wheel. We're trying to do something very cost-effective here. So if we're going to be doing a test, we're going to find out which is the best institute that already does that test and do the tests at those institutes rather than reinventing the wheel. This is a game changer. We're looking for pioneers like yourselves to join us and make this happen.